In Tolkien's Legendarium, the term werewolf does not refer to a cursed human transforming under the moon. Instead, werewolves are unique, evil wolf-like beings of deep antiquity and dread power. The word werewolf, in Tolkien's context, comes from Old English werewolf, literally man-wolf. But these creatures are not humans turned into beasts. They are distinct supernatural wolves, warped and empowered by dark powers. The first and most notorious of these creatures is Dragluin. Described as the sire of all Middle-earth werewolves, he dwelt in the dark fortress of Tolkien, the Isle of Werewolves, under the command of Sauron during the First Age. Dragluin's nature was terrifying, a great wolf, old and evil, whose presence inspired fear and violence among Morgoth's armies. Both Tolkien's narrative and later encyclopedic lore established that these werewolves were not natural wolves, but were instead wolves inhabited by dreadful spirits. Their wolf forms were physical, powerful, and intelligent, far beyond ordinary animals. They could act with malice, organize attacks, and even communicate to some degree. The earliest major appearance of werewolves in Tolkien's canon occurs in the tale of Beren and Luthien. As Beren and his companions attempt to penetrate Sauron's watchtower in Tolkien to free captured elves, Sauron sends Dragluin to stop them. Huan, the great hound of Valinor, battles Dragluin. The fight is long and fierce. Dragluin is slain only when mortally wounded by Huan, and he collapses at Sauron's feet. After Dragluin's death, lingering influences of the werewolves persist through his lineage. Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, creates an even greater werewolf to oppose the Hound of Valinor, Carcharoth. Bred from the foul stock of Dragluin and nurtured on the flesh of elves and men, Carcharoth becomes the most terrible wolf in all of Middle-earth. His name in Sindarin, Anfaglir, means the jaws of thirst, reflecting his insatiable hunger and deadly nature. Carcharoth's role in the Silmarillion is pivotal. When Beren and Luthien make their final escape carrying a Silmaril, Carcharoth confronts them at the gates of Angband. In the ensuing clash, he bites off Beren's hand, swallowing it along with the Silmaril. The jewel's unholy light torments him, twisting his madness into a destructive rampage. The great wolf flees across Middle-earth, laying waste to lands and peoples in his fury. Eventually, he is tracked to Doriath by King Thingol, Huan, and a hunting party. In the great hunt that follows, Huan kills Carcharoth, but dies from the wolf's venomous wounds. Beren too succumbs to his injuries shortly after. It is important to clarify that beyond Dragluin and Carcharoth, werewolves were not extensively detailed in Tolkien's main texts. They are primarily a First Age phenomenon connected to Morgoth's rise and Sauron's machinations. After the fall of Morgoth and the end of the First Age, there are few explicit records of werewolves in the later ages. There is one direct textual reference in the Fellowship of the Ring, where Gandalf tells Frodo that among Sauron's servants and chattels, there are orcs and trolls, there are wargs and werewolves, indicating that the concept of werewolves had not entirely vanished by the Third Age. Tolkien's use of the word here aligns more with an old tradition of frightening wolf-like foes rather than the specific creatures of the First Age. This Gandalf mention has led to some debate among scholars and fans about whether the werewolves of the Third Age are remnants of the ancient breed, symbolic references, or simply the terrifying wolves that haunted the wilds of Eriador and Hollin. Tolkien's own texts are ambiguous here, leaving room for interpretation while confirming that the legacy of these creatures endured in memory and fear. It is equally vital to distinguish werewolves from wargs. Wargs are malevolent wolf-like creatures that appear in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings as foes allied to orcs. They are large, intelligent wolves, but Tolkien's narrative treats them as a separate category from the supernatural werewolves of the First Age. Wargs do not possess the same mythic origin or spiritual corruption attributed to Dragluin and Carcharoth. In summary, Middle-earth werewolves are among the darkest creations of Tolkien's mythic history. wolf-like beings corrupted by evil, not shapeshifters bound to lunar cycles, but powerful, sentient beasts. Their recorded appearances are few but dramatic, centered on the epic struggles of the Silmarillion. Dragluin's fall and Carcharoth's destruction stand as stark reminders of how deeply Morgoth and Sauron twisted artists' creations into instruments of terror.